Good morning, lunatics. Welcome to Morning Java. Morning Java brought to you, as always, Dale, not by MLS soccer stadiums, but by our good friends at the Gecko Cafe and Market, where you can get the Pilgrim.
Everything that's on your Thanksgiving plate is there in a sandwich.
Literally
What
everything.
more could you want?
It's like the refrigerator, the kitchen sink, if you will, of Thanksgiving sandwiches. I'm a big fan.
Speaking of kitchen sinks and refrigerators, this thing is the size of a refrigerator, and they played an NFL game here. I've seen the Steelers play in 70 different venues. This is the worst one I've ever been in.
Whoa.
This is it, right here.
No,
this place.
No.
This place.
No.
This place.
No. This was by far the coolest, at least on field and in proximity to the fans, this was the coolest football experience I've ever been a part of. Ever. It was awesome. You could hear the duck calls coming from everywhere. You could hear the Steelers fans dominating, the cheers and the boos and the whatever.
You're telling me they could have done that anywhere?
No.
They just happened to do it here in this dump of a stadium.
It's different. It was intimate and energetic. Everybody's voice could be heard, I feel like, and it was all these passionate fans who were they're screaming and they're yelling, and everybody came together as one. It wasn't like when you hear in 70,000 person stadiums when you hear groups of cheers. I mean, everybody in this place, it was all in unison. It was great.
The fans were great, but this place is a dump. It should not be hosting NFL games.
Don't listen to Dale.
Should not be hosting NFL games.
More like this, like they do in the soccer world, where the smaller markets and the smaller teams can have their voices heard and they can have the home field advantage. There's no home field advantage here.
No kidding.
That's a problem.
That's why the Chargers are 5-6 here in their 2 years, because they're playing in a stadium they shouldn't be playing
Dale,
in.
It was a great experience.
They should have stayed in San Diego. That's where they should be.
I'm standing by it. People don't like coming to games anymore. They want to watch it on TV. Let the 27,000 people come to the game and let their voices be heard. I'm all for it.
It's a joke. So, Hunter, the Steelers get a big win in this game. Devlin Hodges started. Wasn't great, wasn't bad. But did what they needed to do. The defense leading the way.
Yeah, from the jump. I mean, you talk about Bush's fumble recovery for a touchdown, which I thought was the coolest thing ever, because before the game he told me he was going to get his first defensive touchdown this game. Then he goes and does it. So maybe Devin Bush is also magic and can predict the future. And then an interception, convert that back into points as well. So not only turnovers, which they've been doing all season, but then turning those turnovers into points.
Yeah, and guys told me after the game that Mike Tomlin preached that all week long. He said, look, you're getting the turnovers. Now let's start making those turnovers and take them into scores, because we've got our third-string quarterback playing, and you're going to need those kind of things. So the defense took him up on that. It was the kind of defensive effort that they needed. I know fans in the fourth quarter got a little nervous, but that was Phillip Rivers out there playing with some pretty good players around him. And he was going to they weren't going to shut them out. It just wasn't going to happen. But they stepped up and made the plays that they needed to make at the end, despite the fact that Joe Hayden wasn't out there, Stephon Tuitt wasn't out there. At one point, they're out there in the fourth quarter against Phillip Rivers with Cam Sutton and Artie Burns, and they got the job done.
And Cam Kelly getting a bunch of reps there at the end, and we saw Hunter Henry kind of tore him up over the middle time and again. So that was definitely, yeah, he's all right. Definitely great name too. Short-handed Steelers defense for sure, and it made it interesting. Like you said, we saw the Chargers come back last year, so I think everybody's having flashbacks. But they hang on, and now they're tied with the Super Bowl favorite Browns now.
Yeah, and you get your bye coming up. They'll have some time to heal a little bit. They got a second bye coming up after that against the Miami Dolphins, so it's back-to-back bye weeks, and you get a win out of it as well.
Definitely. And P.S., the stadium was really cool. Hey, Maddie, how photogenic is Benny Snell?
Oh, dude. I thought you were going to lead with like some real football stuff going on.
No.
But man, I love shooting Benny Snell.
Yeah.
I shot a lot of Benny Snell. I shot Benny Snell coming in wearing his Wu-Tang.
I know.
I shot Benny Snell on the field smiling at people. I shot Benny Snell with his big red mouth guard that he's got in.
He's got some swag, man, and I got to say, after the game, that continued with the media. He was in a mood, and it wasn't really a good mood despite a good performance. He was kind of shortchanging answers and being a little, he just seemed mad. I don't know if he's still fired up.
It looked like there was maybe a bit of agitation that went on. He got knocked down pretty good, I think, on that final special teams play for the Steelers, where honestly, Barry just killed a perfect punt. This place erupted, actually. They were chanting Barry, Barry in Los Angeles.
That's pretty awesome.
It's the first time I've ever heard the guy's name chanted.
Got to get it where he can,
Yeah, but Benny Snell came off looking just a little beat up, a little defeated. He kind of shrugged a couple guys off. Ryan Shazier came over and slapped his hand and stuff, but he looked like maybe something bothered him there. But dude, the running game in general, it looked good.
I mean, Connor setting the table. How beautifully did he start that game? And the offensive line was all gushing over, using that to take pressure off Devlin Hodges, which they knew they had to do. They come out and execute that. I mean, that looked like Connor from last year.
Well, the really cool thing to see was that the Steelers, post Le'Veon Bell, for some reason, they've given up on just finding the running back. They did it last year a bit with Jalen Samuels against New England, but he was already cutting them up.
Right.
But I mean, they gave up on it, but they did that early, and it worked. And the line was able to block for the run game, which they'll tell you 100 times over that when they can block for the run game, it's just better overall for them.
A different game. You could tell it felt different from the jump. You get out to I think it was 24-0 lead at one point. You do that, you're going to win the game. So they get the win behind the run game.